Hi, this is Movie Minute Recap, and we are starting. The movie kicks off with a 19-year-old kid named Eric Love who gets starred up. That means he's been yanked out of juvie and thrown into a hardcore maximum security prison because of his violent rep and age. Coincidentally, his old man, Neville Love, is doing life in the same jail. Being his first time in the big leagues, Eric's on edge and already feeling the heat. Figuring he's got to fend for himself, he rigs up a shank from stuff he's got lying around and hides it behind the light fixture in his cell to keep the guards off his back. After settling in, he starts pacing around, cleaning up his cell, and knocking out a few push-ups while waiting for chow time. At lunch, Eric rubs another inmate the wrong way while waiting in line. This dude, Jago, who handles dishing out the grub, notices this. Eric grabs his tray and heads back to his cell, but it's clear. Dude's got his eye on him now. Later, Eric's roaming the yard and finally runs into his father, Neville. He tells Eric to keep his head down, follow the rules, and stay the hell out of trouble. But Eric's not one to just sit still. Back in his cell, another inmate, McDonald, shows up. Eric thinks the guy's gonna jump on him, so he goes full beast mode, beats the dude senseless. But then it hits him. McDonald didn't come looking for trouble. Eric hauls him to the infirmary, but the guards are already on high alert. Handling Eric's like wrestling a bear. He's young, strong, and just straight up wild. That's when Oliver, his volunteer therapist, steps in. He talks the warden into letting Eric join his therapy group, hoping it'll cool him down a bit. Oliver lays down the law. If Eric screws up, he's out of the therapy group for good. Meanwhile, Neville's busy behind the scenes trying to get Dennis, the prison's shot caller, to look out for his boy. Dennis agrees, but on one condition. Eric's got to keep his nose clean and not stir the pot with the other inmates or guards. Neville pulls Eric aside for a heart-to-heart, begging him to keep his cool. He warns Eric not to cross the guards, because if he does, they'll make it look like he took himself out and nobody will question it. Eric promises he'll behave, but deep down, you can tell he's just saying what his old man wants to hear. Soon, Eric screws up again. He sneaks into Jago's cell, nabs his lighter, and uses it to prank McDonald. Jago's livid and bribes a few goons to rough up Eric, but Hassan, one of Oliver's guys, steps in right before things get bloody and tells Eric to stand down, or it'll only make things worse. Eric barely holds back. After that, Eric's more consistent at therapy, even starts bonding with the guys in the group. Most of them have rap sheets as bad as his. The sessions are like a pressure cooker with guys getting in each other's faces, but Oliver manages to keep things under control. Eric's warming up to the group, but Neville's pissed his son's getting too chummy with black inmates. One day, Neville barges into a session and starts airing out some of Eric's most humiliating secrets. Eric's temper flares, and when another inmate cracks a joke, all hell breaks loose. Fists fly, and Oliver, along with a guy named Tyrone, tries to calm Eric down. Mrs. Cardew, one of the top brass, gets wind of it and says Eric's banned from therapy for good. Oliver fights back, saying Eric's making progress, but Mrs. Cardew's not budging. Eric's beyond pissed and blames his dad for screwing up his shot at getting better. When they're put in solitary, Eric finally lets loose on his father. Neville, instead of fighting back, takes every hit without a peep. Eric's confused, thinking his dad's given up on him. Dennis tries to smooth things over, but Eric's not having it. He lashes out at his dad again, and Dennis, feeling disrespected, orders the warden to snuff Eric out and stage it as a suicide. Neville, realizing his son's in deep shit, brawls his way through guards to reach Eric and saves him just before the noose tightens. The warden spins it as an attempted suicide. Lying in the infirmary, Eric breaks down when he realizes how far his dad went to save his life. The guys from therapy drop by to show some love and support. Once Eric's back on his feet, a CO shows up and tells him Neville's getting shipped off to another prison because of his actions. They let Eric and his dad have a final emotional goodbye. The movie's takeaway? Don't waste your youth making dumb choices that'll screw up your life. Chase things that'll bring you happiness, and you'll avoid the regret that comes from hurting yourself and others, especially your family. Thank you for watching this till the end. Please subscribe.